Hello and welcome. These are horse racing selections for Saturday, the 2nd of March. I am flatcapcallum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. All right. Confirmed Newbury is on today. I've only got one horse in for Newbury. The staking plan for Saturday is £20 and 50 pence, so a tiny smidgen bit above a day's stake. Three bets. There is a Meydan Yankee. So I've had a little swim over there. Well, not physically, clearly. A little Meydan Yankee. We've got a win Yankee on the jumps. So don't do that very often, but a win Yankee on the jumps. And I've got the main bet is an each way Canadian, a horse at Kelso, a horse at Doncaster, two at Kempton, and one at Wolverhampton. So that is it. Three bets. It's all going to be in the comments along with the tips the league thing. So as far as yesterday goes, I mean, the thing is, you get days where you struck out, right? That strike out. That those things happen. They are so much more painful when you're already on a pretty crap run, and I'm sure it's really, really hard for a lot of folk following, right? I get that. It was painful for me last night. And yeah, you have a day the day before and you think, oh, possibly on the up. No. That being said, I mean, I'm not splitting hairs, but there was 14 horses, three place, so that's not good enough. There were three that were not far away, literally like small parts of horse's head away, which would have made a difference, including a 50-1 that was just out the frame. So to me, although the result was awful, it had promise in it, if that makes sense. Whereas there's been lots of days in February where actually it just was wayward. so there was a tiny glimmer from my perspective, but the thing is, I got to make a decision, right? I've said I'm going on a break in a few weeks' time. I've said that for a while. That's what's happening. So in the meantime, I'm just going to try my best. The thing is, people will watch this video for a million different reasons. Some people just watch it because they just like the fun, kind of jovial atmosphere on there, and they don't mind, losing a few quid at times. Overall, clearly the stats say that was up, but the last few months have been dire. So there's people like that. There's people that are in it because they want to make money. Well, that's I'm never promising that. I'm trying to promise my best, and what I do is I do things a different way, and what that means is you get much higher variance. So you'll go on really bad runs. This is clearly a stinker, and there's people who watch because they want to get a load of winners, and they still, despite whatever I will say, they still will come and poke fun and whatever about the fact that you've had this terrible long losing streak or whatever it might be. It's part of the gig. But what hardly any people can possibly get in their head is how it feels to every day try to do, well, not every single day of the week, but every day try and do your best and it not go very well. And then feeling that other people are kind of hoping that it does go well and you're kind of letting them down a little bit. That is the bit that feels really, really hard. And I think the thing that I think most people who follow this channel will understand to some degree that it pains me. But it's hard, right? I'm not here saying to you I'm the best. Look at me. Look at what I'm doing. I've never said that. There'll always be people who think, well, you're on YouTube, you think you must be the best ever. Never said that. What I'm saying is I do stuff differently. What I'm saying is, if you look at the stats, I've made a long-term profit. Those are true statements. I made a profit in the first year, a profit in the second year, albeit it was a struggle to start with. We're not in profit in 2024 as a calendar year. I know that, and that's not where I'd like to be. But this is a really hard gig, right? And I'm not getting remunerated here, am I? So I don't get paid to do these videos. I'm doing it because I want to and I like to most of the time, and because some people get enjoyment out of it. That aside, you two give me a bag of crisps and some nuts like every month. But that that's not how I make a living, right? Horses is my hobby. I took a decision a few points in my life about whether I would do it more seriously, and clearly some people will look and go, well, you'd be homeless if you did it seriously. I can't show you everything I'm doing, and the stakes are not indicative of what I do. I'm trying to do the best version of what I can in a kind of a tight little staking plan each day. So naysayers can say what they want, right? It don't bother me, but I do take a mind a little bit of offence when people sort of like think that sort of suggest that I'm on here trying to give it the big one. I'm never doing that. Yeah, I'm trying my best, folks, and I know most people get that, but I'm just saying to you, it was painful for me last night. I did not have an enjoyable evening at all. I was not a good person to be around, and usually I ride the waves absolutely fine, but it was particularly painful, I think, last night, just because the bad run and then the actual end result from yesterday was what it was, which was 28 on, 0 back. So yeah, that's my morning ramble. Don't mean to get everyone else on a bit of a downer, because the point is, right, I'd much rather be losing at horses and try and be a kind person in life than win at horses and be a bit of an arse. People make the choices, don't they? That's what do people make their choices. I know which one I'm trying to be. So I don't want to lose at horses. I'd like to win at horses and try and be a decent person at the same time. Try and do both, but at the moment I'm not doing one and I'm trying to do the other. so there we go. Word on the golf. Keenan Davids. I don't know how to pronounce his surname, to be honest. He's the only golfer of the three we've got left. And he's done a bit on the third round that he did on the second round. He started really well and then sort of dropped a shot now. So he's only 3 or 4 back, I think, from the frame. So he's not completely out of it. So we'll keep an eye and see if we get a stroke of fortune on that. And then just commentary on the horses. The Meydan one, it's an interesting meet at Meydan. And yeah, I've got 3 sort of shorter ones in there, as in, say, short, 2 11-1 shots in extra place races. There's the last race at Meydan, which is really interesting for a bet because you've got such a big odds-on favourite. So it's trying to work out which horse might be the second horse. And then I've got one bigger price at Meydan. That's it. And then what was I going to say about the Win Yankee? There was four I found in smaller fields on the jumps. I felt they're all about the 3 to 4 to 1 mark. So I felt like it was worth trying to put them in a Yankee. And we'll see how we go. And then the main bet, I've got one horse in the Moor Battle at Kelso. Shorter one, it's 11-1 on that one, but that was the one I felt was the right pick. And then in the Grimthorpe is where I've got a nicer price, which is Skelton's second string with Heidi Palin riding. So she rode Favois, or in the Lanzarote, I think it was the Lanzarote? It was something, a big field handicap hurdle, and she did well. But she's got even better race record on chasers, and it looks like he's going to start to use her a bit sparingly. And I'm really keen to see what rides she gets at Cheltenham Festival. So yeah, she'll be a jockey. I'll be keeping an eye on the Cheltenham Festival because he's had to sort of move around his jockeys because Bridget Andrews is out at the moment, pregnant. Just well done to her and Harry. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see where she rides, but I think there's definite scope in Hidden Heroics, I think it is. Definite scope in that one. And then on the all-weather, 2 at Kempton I like. One at a nicer price. I've put that in an extra double. And then at Wolverhampton, I found one at Wolverhampton I think was worth looking at. It's one of those ones, it's low-grade, inconsistent horse, coast. But if you look through, from a pricing point of view, 20s at the time of making this video, it never normally goes off anywhere near that sort of price. And if you look at the last 3 times it's ridden at Wolverhampton at 6 furlongs, when it's been a double figure price, it's framed. So it's not a horse that necessarily needs to be a short price in order to frame. So I think it's definitely got some value in the price. Whether today's a going day, that's another matter entirely. So that is that. And then Tips the League, there's 9 races on telly. There's some at Doncaster, Newbury and Kelso. So please make sure you read the comment correctly to make sure you know which races are qualifying races. So the only races you can use for Tips the League have to be on ITV Racing. They're listed in the comment on this video to tell you which are those 9. No more than 3 selections. Need to enter by 2 o'clock. 10-point maximum stake. There was a slight correction. Stephen put me right. I did a miscalculation on one of mine. So I'm very sorry, Derek. You did get in the top 10 last week, but you were actually 7th. I think I wrote you was joint 5th with £9. I think the reality was, I'm trying to remember now, I think it was something like £3. So the overall league tables doesn't change, but from the last week's, Derek, you were top 10, but you were actually 7th, not joint 5th. So I apologise for my correction, and thank you, Stephen, for keeping me right as usual. All right, I think that's it. I'm not sure about tomorrow. I might put some stuff in the comment that I might find enough to do a bonus video. I really don't know. To be honest, if today doesn't go great, then mindset wise, I think I'll probably be leaving it tomorrow anyway, just because I won't be in the right frame of mind. So we'll see how we go. So yeah, in theory, I'll be back now Tuesday night for the last week before Cheltenham. Thank you very much. Have a good weekend. Bye bye.